Hello. 11:30, here I am. I'm in my daughter's room again. You might hear my husband a little bit in the back. There's not a lot of spaces in our house. We have 2 bedrooms on this side of the house, and Carter pretty much plays in the other bedroom, so I'm trying to stay away from him. So I had plans today to try and be shorter. I thought, wow, 15 minutes. I talked 15 minutes on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'll be here. And that went really fast. I was like, wow, it's talked for 15 minutes. But today, my goal is to talk about who is this new RiseUP community for that I'm creating, so you can get a good idea if it's something that would serve you, that would help you in your life, and something you'd feel good about joining. So it's basically who I serve. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I might just wait a minute or two longer, see if anyone else comes. I'm trying to see. So today I am wearing my peace earrings and this t-shirt that my sister gave me. What does it say? It says, "Be hippie." And I love how, and she gave me these earrings too. She gave me the earrings and the shirt, and they match. And they were 2 separate gifts. But yeah, I'm all about hippie and peace. And side note, one of the people I recently found that I've been loving following is kind of about violence, which is like, woo, that's weird, right? You wouldn't think I'd be about violence, but he has an interesting perspective about how, life is inherently violent, and that we need to kind of get comfortable with it, especially, for protection purposes, which a lot of us in our community have been thinking about, protecting ourselves and our loved ones. So I was just thinking how, I'm all about peace and love and this and that, and then this new person that I've been attracted to follow and pay attention to what he's saying, he's all about, he does jujitsu and AMA fighting, like he gets bloody. He really just thinks that men in particular should be learning these things, and it's like a skill pretty much, and he's very practical about it as part of life. But my point being that I'm open to that. I'm like, I've always been like, I hate violence, obviously, I hate war. I don't know anyone that loves those things, but it's an interesting perspective, and I like to kind of remain curious, So that's some thoughts I had about that. Well, I have 3 viewers today, so I'm going to get started. That's like my record. I'm on fire. I am, back to 2. I am actually kind of on fire today. I actually got sleep last night because 2 nights in a row. Hi, Lisa. 2 nights in a row I did not sleep well. One night because I just woke up and could not go back to sleep. I was just so excited. I wake up often now, excited in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom and then cannot fall asleep. I just have all these ideas in my head. And then this last night, not last night, but the night before, my alarm went off at 5 a.m. instead of 6 because Carter plays with my clock and he changed the time. So that was super frustrating because I was like trying to catch up on sleep. So today I'm feeling really good. I thought my Monday I was a little bit low energy, so a little more high energy today, which is cool because it's an important topic I want to talk to you guys about. So I have my notes here. I'm not going to try not to read them like a script, but I really wanted to make sure that I was clear today because it's important for you all to understand what my vision is and who I plan to serve. So let's jump right into that. The people that I serve and that will really benefit from this community are those who believe in medical freedom. You do not need to be a, quote, anti-vaxxer or someone that's never taken a vaccine or who doesn't want to in the future. It's not about that. It's about the belief in medical freedom, that it's all of our choice what goes into our body. So that is a core belief that everyone in our community will have. There will be no one in our community that believes it's okay to have forced or mandated vaccines. Those people are not part of our community. So just to be clear on that, Other words that people might identify with are new normal skeptics. I kind of made that up, but this whole idea of there being this new normal in our society, and what does that mean? And all those people that we've been asking questions right from the start. We are critical thinkers in this group of people. So those are the people that will be in our community. It will be a safe and welcoming community for all of you. So some of the core principles that I have are right here in my notebook. I'm going to flip this around because then it should be the right way for you. So core beliefs and principles: medical freedom, freedom of speech, personal responsibility, respect and kindness, empathy, connection, curiosity, and courage. Those are all core beliefs that I have in mind for our community. So before I go into more who I am serving, because this is still a rather large group of people, there are a lot of people that believe in medical freedom, which is awesome. We should all be very encouraged by that. This is not a political activism group. And why do I say that? Well, for one, it's not my area of deep knowledge. I am not a political activist. I have become more interested in, and I may at some point become more active in local, protests, or probably more educational events would be more my cup of tea. But our group, that will not be the focus. This does not mean that people in our group might be led to become more politically active because of the work we do in our group, because the work we will be doing is all personal. It's on personal development and moving forward in our lives, and some people may be called to that direction. So it's not a specific focus of our community, but like I said, some people may end up going in that direction. And the good news is there's already a lot of amazing groups that are politically active, specifically for medical freedom. And one that comes to mind is Freedom Keepers. We have a chapter here. I know Virginia has chapters. Most states have chapters of Freedom Keepers. One other thing that our community is not for: it is not a community for rehashing the past 15 months. It is not a community for venting, raging. It's not a community for despair. I want to create a safe place where we all feel safe, but we're starting to look forward. And I think a lot of us are ready to do that. That's not to say that there might not be some times where we need support because of things that are happening in our life. It's not that we won't talk about what's going on in the world at all. It just will not be the main focus. So I hope that's clear for everyone. So what are we going to do, and what further unites this community? The number one thing that will unite our community is that we recognize a need to build and be supported by community, which is perfect because we're creating an online community. So many people I talk to just have said, I need more community. I need something that supports me. And more people are creating that. So this will just be another way of doing that. And I envision one of the main things we talk about is building community in our actual environments, in our local communities. But we talk about strategies and we act on them. Instead of just hoping it's gonna happen, we gotta get out there and do it. And so we will inspire each other and make action plans. So that's the number one thing. This is a community of support, of inspiring, of making plans, of taking forward steps. Further things that can identify if this is a community for you is that if you have felt any fear or anxiety, especially about the future in the past 15 months, a lot of us have children, we're parents, and we're very concerned about where we see our country going, the world going. So that is something that we will address. When we are stuck in fear and anxiety, I was thinking of it as being stuck in the yuck. When we're stuck there, we are unable to take the steps we need to move forward. So if that's something you're struggling with, this community is going to help you. And one key way that we address that fear and anxiety is by being in community. When we feel supported and loved, it alleviates the anxiety automatically. So this is to say that members of this community could be new. They could be new, one who's more of a freedom fighter, more experienced. They've been doing this for many years, maybe even decades. But we are still united by this need for community, our fear of the future. And the way I look at it is people that are newer to, they've been, basically their eyes have been opened to a lot of corruption that, we don't like to believe it exists. I am a very naive, loving person, and it's like once you see the corruption, you're just like, whoa, this is crazy. It's overwhelming. And that's why so many people were overwhelmed last year. So the overwhelm, I think, is what many newer people feel. On the other end of the spectrum, people that are more experienced, we've been researching this for years. We weren't really surprised by things. We are horrified, of course, but maybe not as surprised. But some of those people, myself included, we can become obsessed. So we have overwhelmed and obsessed. And those two things lead to us, or actually prevent us. They prevent us from moving forward. It prevents us from facing our fears and from taking action and looking for positive solutions. So these are the things that I think we can really start to address. Why am I qualified to help you do all these things? I don't want to go too much into this. I will address it more as we go on. But a little quick glimpse of it is my strengths. I have really high emotional intelligence. I love people. I love meeting people, learning about them. I love listening and talking to them and learning their histories. It's just something that I've always done naturally. I'm a curious person. I question things. I've taken risks before in my life, so I feel qualified to help you figure out what are the risks you're willing to take that are worth it. And I'm kind of a self-help junkie too. I've always been someone who wants to improve myself and just kind of always done it on my own. So, you do things enough, you start, I think you are an expert. So, last night, Marisol and I had our freedom class. I think I mentioned it at the last Freedom Keepers. And I also have had some discussions with friends the past 24 hours that have clarified a lot of things for me. One person can really make a difference, and each of us, that means me, that means you. Last night we learned some more history. I'm going to show you. This is James Otis Jr. leads the way. And one thing that Chris Ann pointed out is that this was James Otis. It was 15 years before the Declaration of Independence. He was a lawyer who just stood up for the colonists. He worked for the government and quit, and he had a bounty on his head. He could have been shot on sight, and he never ran away. He could have said, like she said, he could have said, it's not going to make a difference. I'm risking everything. I'm risking my reputation, my livelihood, my friends, my family. People were making fun of him. He risked his life, and yet he still did it because he knew it was the right thing to do. And 15 years later, it was the Declaration of Independence. And who was in there listening to this man? It was John Adams, Samuel Adams, Dr. James Warren. They were listening and it lit a fire in them. So yes, one person can make a difference. And I'm just to a point where I'm like, I keep seeing people talk about, we need change, we need to build the new world. Why can't I help? Why can't I help others do that? I also think we are all called to do things, to make this difference in the world in unique ways. For example, I already mentioned how my group will not be a political group. And I also mentioned on Monday this philosophy, il faut cultiver notre jardin. So that is a philosophy that is like a bedrock for me, to cultivate my garden and build a really beautiful world for the people I love, and I believe that's going to have ripple effects. Other people may feel called to the political arena, and I think they can have a powerful impact too. It's not one or the other. It's that we listen to the voice inside of us and follow that voice, follow that intuition. So this is what my intuition is telling me to do, and I want you to feel inspired and drawn to me. Another thing that became clear to me last night is I had an interesting interaction with someone, and I'm kind of having to face my insecurities, just like we all do when we do something new and take a risk. I have been posting a lot about this. I've been posting on my regular page and my profile page and my business page. I've been messaging friends and emailing them. And, you know, it makes you, if you're not comfortable selling, it makes you feel like a little uncomfortable. Like, am I annoying people? Do they think I'm weird? Like this or that. I want you to know that I only really, really want people that feel this will benefit them. And I've actually even told a couple friends who have already said, yes, you know, I will support you. I want to be a founding member. I'm like, are you sure? Like, if you don't think it'll help you, because some of these friends, you know, I'm like, you're kicking butt. Like, you don't really need me to inspire you. Like, you're taking the actions. You're doing this. You're doing that. And so, see, I'm such a good salesman. I'm discouraging people. But I want another example. See, my mom's here. She says she loves my peace earrings. My mom, I'm like, Mom, don't join just to give me $10 a month. Like, she already gives me so much money, so much time, so much love. I don't need her to join, because if this is going to succeed, it will succeed on its own merit. So yes, I am pushing it kind of hard right now, because I also know if I don't explain to people my vision, if I don't put it out there, if I don't tell my friends, hey, this is what I'm doing, how can people know? So there's a constant like tension between, am I just being salesy, or people thinking I'm spamming them, and knowing in my heart that's not my intention at all. So I just want you guys to know I really am excited to serve whoever feels drawn to this, whether it's one person, whether it's 3 people to start, 5. I'm not looking to have hundreds to start, because I want to build this slowly. I want to do a good job, and I want to serve you. So that's where I'm at. I think that's about everything for today. I hope that clarifies. So to clarify, medical freedom, I serve you if you believe in medical freedom, if you're looking to build community that supports you, that makes you feel empowered. I'm looking to help people face their fears and anxieties, especially about the future, so we can begin to address that and build the world we want, so we no longer feel fearful and anxious. If you feel overwhelmed, if you feel obsessed, the way I look at it is like it's a train wreck. Like, oh my God, what is happening in the world? Everything's upside down. What's happening? And you can't look away. And you keep, last spring, summer, I was obsessed. I mean, it was a full-time job. I really, really read and watched. I watched 2-3 hour videos, and it's so frustrating for those of us who have become really knowledgeable and experts. You know, you put that many hours and you are an expert. It's very frustrating then to be told by people that have done zero research outside of CNN or whatever news source they have, to be told that we are conspiracy theories or just discounted. So that's very frustrating, I know. But what I realized is, at this point, I know what I believe. And it's more of a philosophical understanding of what the government's place is. And the place is not to shut down. That is not, the government's place is not to protect us. That's what I learned in my Liberty class. It's not to protect us and keep us safe. The role of the government is to make sure our individual rights are protected, and people do not know that. So anyways, that's who I serve. If you feel called to join me, I would be so honored. Please, if you're watching this and you're interested, please private message me on my Facebook group or my private group. However, I have an email list that you can join. And share with any friends this video if it helped clarify for you what this community is all about, what it will be. And one of the big advantages of being a founding member is you are going to shape what happens. And like whatever you need to work on is, we're going to be able to focus on those things. So it's actually really fun and exciting. And I hope you feel my excitement. I'm so happy to see you all here. Again, private message me and please share with anyone that you think might benefit from a community like this. I appreciate you all. Have a great day.